Hi everyone. Today Salesforce development 12, day 12. Today and tomorrow it will be development. So what are we going to learn today? We'll quickly go through the previous session and we'll talk about the Apex colon data table and what is the output of the Apex colon data table and what is the difference between the Apex colon data table and Apex colon page block table. And we'll see the decode any Visualforce tag, and then we will see Apex colon data list and Apex colon list view, what it is and how to use it. And then we will see charter Visualforce tag and one of the charter colon feedWithFollowers, we will see that, and quiz, homework, and today's interviews. Okay, so quickly, what did we learn yesterday?
Apex panel grid,
Apex page block table,
Apex facet, Apex command link, Apex column, record set word attribute.
What did we learn the last session?
Cloud.
What did
Apex
we learn?
page block table.
Last session, what did we learn?
Page block table,
Apex colon page block table.
And
record set word attribute,
okay.
Apex column,
Apex column,
Apex panel grid,
panel grid,
Apex facet,
Apex command link,
what is the other one?
Apex
Apex
facet,
facet,
Apex variable,
Did we learn aura set?
That is in
Aura set is in
we have
lighting,
it.
ma'am.
That is in lightning.
Yeah. So what did we learn?
Apex column, ma'am.
Rendered function has next has preview.
Okay. So these are the one which we have learned last time. Anything which is missing here?
We just use it to know rendered has next has preview.
What are these has next has preview?
These are
Rendered.
pre-defined Salesforce methods which will
action methods.
for the
Which is used under in command link.
no next page records exist or not.
Okay. Anything apart from this? Okay, perfect. So we have learned the page block table, record set in the Apex page, record set var in the Apex page, and then Apex panel grid, command link, facet, variable columns, and then we have seen the rendered, how it is working, and has next and has previous functions we have learned in last session. Now, today we are going to see the first one is Apex DataTable. Apex DataTable tag is, we use this tag to create a data table in Visualforce page. It is used to create a data table in Visualforce page. So each item in the data table is displayed in the form of rows and columns. And column header value not updated automatically. What is that means is when we display the table, when we display this table, the header values, right? When we use the Apex colon page block table, so that time the first name, last name, email were automatically populating it. But in the data table, column header value not updated automatically. We have to manually write that. Manually need to write the header value. And also we need to adjust the width manually. So data table UI, by using the Apex colon data table, whatever the table that we are implementing, UI is not similar to the Salesforce type. It looks like this. This is which one this is when we used it with the Apex colon page block table. So when I created this, it has a proper certain width and certain height, everything is declared, right? It is similar to the how Salesforce style is there. But if I use the data table, if I use the data table Apex colon data table Visualforce tag, the UI is different. It's normal table. So it looks like this. It looks like this. So it will not have a proper width, height, nothing, the rows, lines, or column lines, nothing will be there. So let's go ahead and see how to implement the data table. So let's take a file, new Visualforce page, pf underscore data table. Let's say table. And the attribute in the data table is similar to the page block. Similar to the page block table. Whatever the page block table is there, right? So the same attributes will apply to the data table. So first we will see the data table, how to implement it. So what we have to write in the Apex page in order to display the information. For example, we have a contact, okay?
Set
I wanted to build
standard controller.
I wanted to build this table, name, account name, title, phone, email. Yes, now
First
standard
is standard controller, account,
Counter contact.
contact,
then record set where.
Record set where.
record, set where.
Set where.
Set where equals to
Some variable.
some variable.
Okay, so now we are going to implement the data table. But before that, let me add the page block. Let's give the title equal to, let's say, data table. Okay. Now we are going to implement Apex colon data table. Apex colon data table. So what are the attributes that are required for the page block table?
Header value, page value table, ma'am.
Record set well.
How you use record set in page block table?
Where
Value.
value where
Value where
value and where.
Values. Con and variable. Where.
Are equal to, let's say, see. Now, within the Apex page block table, what do we use it in order to display the values in the column?
Apex column.
So in data table also we use the Apex colon column. value equal to, let's say, C dot first name last name, email, mobile number, mobile phone. Let's save it. Click on preview. Now, how is it displaying it? It is displaying in table format. Some table format it is displaying it. Some table format it is displaying it, right? It does not have any border. It does not have any border, and it does not have even lines also not there. So everything we have to decide it. So in order to make this properly, now first of all, are you able to see the name here? Are we able to see the name?
No, ma'am.
No column name is not there.
So for the data table, in order to display the header value, we have to mention the header value. So by default, data table does not show the header value or column name. What are the column name is there? It does not show. So we have to mention the information here. This is email, header phone, mobile phone. Now I can see first name, last name, email, mobile number. But if you observe this, it does not clearly tells that which one is. This entire one is looking at like a one sentence. There is no gap between the each column, right? Between the each name of the header value, there is no space. Everything is combined. Now what I'll do is I'll declare certain width between the each one of them. That means I need to apply a style. So when we implement a data table, there is a lot of styling that needs to be applied. The reason is by default, the Salesforce style, how the Salesforce style is there, it does not display the similar to the Salesforce style. It displays in terms of the table, in terms of the table. So in order to make it beautification, what I'll do is I'll just add the width. We have a width, let's assume that 75%. For every column, it adds. Now it's looking much better. Now it is looking much better. So like this, every time we need to put a lot of CSS here. Even there is a no border here and no lines are there, right? For everything, we have to apply a CSS. For everything, we have to apply a CSS. Now the requirement is we have a page. There are two tabs, tab 1, tab 2. In tab 1, this is the tab 1, this is tab 2. So in tab 1, I need to display the table which is similar to the Salesforce styling. It should apply Salesforce style automatically. And the tab 2, I need a table which is completely different from Salesforce style. Now, for the tab 1, what do we need to use it? In order to implement a table, which
pageBlockTable.
Apex colon pageBlockTable.
apex colon, page block table. And for the second one,
Data, apex colon
Data
data.
table.
Data.
apex colon, data table. Now let's go ahead and implement this. Now I'll take the same one. Okay, so how do we declare the tab? How do we declare the tab? What is the command to declare the tab?
apex colon tab panel.
Apex colon tab
Tab.
panel. Okay, within that, how you will divide the tabs?
Apex
Apex
colon tab.
colon tab.
Apex colon tab.
Apex colon tab. This is one. We needed two tabs. One is another one is apex colon tab. Okay. Now, what are the attributes that are there for the tab? Which attribute we have to give it? We have to show name on the tab.
Label.
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 Label equal to, let's say, contact details, page block table. Second one, let's say label equal to contact details using data table. Okay, so let's say now the two tabs are created. Now in the first tab, we have to implement page block table. Yes, what is the command that I need to use in order to implement the page block table? What do we need to do first?
Apex block. Page block.
Apex colon,
Page block.
page block. Okay, within the page block,
Page block table.
Page.
before the page block table, let's add the section so that we can see the title. Title equal to page block table information. Within this, let's implement the apex colon page block table. Yes, what are the variables in the page block table? What are the
Same value.
Val.
Value.
Var.
Curly braces, exclamatory, con, then var.
let's take C. Okay, so now within the page block table, what do we need to add?
Colon.
Column.
Apex column.
Apex column value equal to
Curly braces, exclamatory.
CN dot
Cn dot first name.
first name,
Cn dot last name.
CN dot last name, CN dot email, CN dot mobile phone, Now, whatever we have implemented the data table, I'll take this and I'll place it into the tab 2. What is the error here? What is the error it is showing? The element type apex colon page block must be terminated by the matching end tag. What is the error?
We have to close the apex page block.
We have to close the apex page block. What is this error then? Apex colon page must end with a greater than delimiter. What is this error? Which line it is coming the error?
32. ma'am.
So what is the problem in 32?
That's a page block. There is a no open tag for this one, 32. Yeah, remove this. I think.
So let's save it. Perfect. Okay, so why my table is coming only this till this?
Column 1.
Columns.
We have to use column 1.
Columns equal to 1. Perfect. So this is default Salesforce styling has been applied. Now, if you see this one, there is a lot of difference between if I use a page block table and if I use a data table, right? So data table doesn't even tell the border styling. It doesn't, if I'm hovering on it, it doesn't highlight the entire row. Whereas in page block, if I highlight any of this, so it will entire row gets highlighted. But in the data table, it doesn't highlight anything, whether I'm hovering on single field value or an email, anything I'm hovering on it, it doesn't highlight the entire row. Right? So right now here we have added the width. So in case if you wanted to add a border, so we have a border. Let's give 2. So there is a border added to the data table. Border is added to the data table. Now, like this, you need to put a lot of effort on the CSS side for the data table. Whereas if I use the page block table, Salesforce is applying all the stylings behind this. What are the components that I'm using it behind this? Salesforce is applying it. We need not to do anything here. I need not to put border or a style, color, nothing. I need not to put anything. I need not to add anything here. Now, for example, in order to, in data table, now it is showing rows and column, which is because we have added the border. We have added the border. So let's assume that I wanted to highlight the, like a first row should be white and the second row should be some light green or a blue color, whatever it is, light blue or whatever it is. I wanted to apply some color. Alternate rows should be applied a color. Like if you go to the Salesforce, right? Here it is not showing it, but whenever you see the table, alternate rows are the highlighted. If you open the Excel sheet, the alternate rows are gets automatically, it's highlighted. So what I'll do is I'll use a attribute, which is we have here, which is called row columns, row classes. there is an attribute here which says that row call. So what is this? This is ultimately it is calling the external CSS. So for that, I'll add a style. So what I'll do is, for example, let's say dot white. So I'll add the background color. Background color equal to, let's say, white. And then I'll add another color, which is a dot orange. So background color equal to, what I'll do is I'll put the orange, or I can take green, whichever the color you like it. So what I'll do is in row class, we have a row class. So in row class, I'll put this, comma, another one. I'm just adding the two styles here, white and then orange. White and orange. So what happened? I just applied onto the data table. I just applied onto the data table. I have not applied on the each row. I'm not doing any calculation whether this row should be green, this row should be different color. I'm not doing any color there, right? So which is automatically applied. This green is highlighted. Let me change this. Now, if I go to the contact details, see. So every alternate row, right? So the first one is showing as a white color, and then this is light blue color it is showing. So which is displaying the alternate. If I take a next line, automatically the white will be displayed. So what this row class does is, based on the rows, whatever the rows are there, it calculates. If it is a even, show the white color. If it is an odd row, like we have a even rows, odd rows. If it is an even row, automatically it will apply the white. If it is an odd row, it will apply the whatever the orange styling has it will apply it. So is this available only for data table? No, you can apply to the page block table. But page block table already has it. But in case if you wanted to apply that, you can apply. So page block table. You can also apply onto the page block table. See, all the even ones are whatever the alternate one rows are there, which is displaying the white, and the other one which are displaying in light blue color. Right. So this row class will be defined. Right. So that you can at least make it a beautification to the data table. And you have to do lot many things here, because when I hover on this row, it's not highlighting it, right? So for that, you might have to use some CSS stylings or a JavaScript stylings. We have to apply it. In order to apply the JavaScript styling, all those things, we have a different tags, right? So, but data table is a different compared to page table. So in the interview, they will ask, what is the difference between the page block table and data table? Because ultimately you are showing the same information in the page block table and same information in the data table, right? Both are showing the same. So they will ask, what is the difference between the Apex data table and Apex page table? So basically, page block table uses by default, it uses the Salesforce styling. Whereas data table does not use the Salesforce styling. You have to put a lot of CSS into that. And then need not to specify the header. When we use the page block table, the header name or the column header name, what are the first name, last name, email, mobile phone number, what are the header values are there, we need not to specify manually. We need not to specify anything on the page block table. But whereas In data table, it is mandatory. Otherwise, it will not show the header value. Otherwise, it will not show header value. And the most important is less custom style classes will be used in the page block table. Whereas in the data table, you need to apply a lot of CSS styles, custom styles, and clickable, everything you need to add to make it more beautification. Any questions on the Apex colon data table and a page block table?
Ma'am, in real time, which one is used more?
We mostly use the page block table.
Okay.
But if client says that I just need a record, I don't want any clickable, anything I do not want. I just need some data to be displayed on the page. In that case, you can go with the data table. But if they says that I want similar structure, whatever is there here, and I wanted to apply all these things. If they want a similar styling as a Salesforce, then we have to go with the page block table. Okay, so let's move on. Any questions? So this is the differences. This is the page block table, how it looked like. Even the font size also different. The font size in the page block, it's similar to the Salesforce. And here, if you see, it's a normal text format. It's normal text format. It doesn't differentiate. It doesn't show the differentiate between the each header value. But here in the table, you will see the differentiation between the each header value. And it's the data is like the shrinking kind of a thing. You will not able to identify for which row, which it is. It's everything is a shrinking here. So this is main difference. The look and styling wise, page block table is much better. Data table is just if you wanted to just display data and don't want to worry about the styling, font, anything, I don't want to worry about it, then go ahead with the data table. But in real time, we mostly use the page block table. Any questions before I move on? Okay. So next, decode any Visualforce component, any Visualforce tag. Yes, this is your slide. Come on. What is this Apex component?
Apex
Self-close
name.
attribute.
Self-close tag.
Self-close tag.
Apex is
First, Apex is namespace.
Namespace.
And Visualforce tag.
Component name.
Closed
So
Visualforce tag. Component name.
component name and attributes.
Prefix name, component name, and then attribute names. Now, next one is a data list. Next one is data list. Data list is used to display the list in order. Whatever the list is there, if I wanted to display the data in order. It's a similar like how we have in HTML, we have OL and LI tag. This is the list it is going to display, right? So whatever these tags are there in Salesforce, if you wanted to implement it, if you wanted to implement the order list, then you have to use the data list. So basically the data list holds the collection of records similar to the Apex data table and Apex page block table. So Apex page block table and Apex data table, what they does, they holds the collection of data. Page block table and data table, whatever is there, they holds the collection of data. Similarly, data list also holds the collection of data. So what are the attributes? It has a similar attribute, same as a data table and a page block. So first one is a value, the collection of the data displayed in the list, and var equal to the name of the variable that should represent one element, one single element in the collection of data, which is similar to the how we are doing the data table, and then apex colon page block table. Apex colon page block table. So for example, let's go ahead and see that. So what I'll do is I'll use the same existing one. I'll create another tab here. Yes, tell me how to create another tab.
Add tab attribute.
Apex colon tab.
Apex colon tab. What is the attribute?
Tab
Label.
label equal
Label
to
equal to let's
Name of
type
tab.
data list.
data list.
Then close the
Value
apex colon tab. Okay, so within this, I'm going to implement the data list. I'm going to implement data list. But in order to implement a data list, I have to use the apex colon data list. Apex colon data list. Close this. Now, within the apex colon data list, what are the attributes we have?
Value.
Value and value.
Value equal to, what should be the value equal to?
Con.
Cons.
Exclamatory con.
Con.
Where is it?
Var equal to C.
So see, we are already using it. So what I'll
Some
do?
other variable.
Yeah. Now, what I'll do is I'll simply printing the C and dot. What I'll do is first name. C and dot. Last name. I'm just printing the values. I'm not doing anything. No tag. I'm not using any tag. I'm just printing here. Let's take rating and then phone number. Mobile phone. Right. I'm just using the as object contact. Invalid field rating. Mobile phone, let's say. So data list is created. What happened? How many records it is displaying? All of them. Whatever the contact has. How many are there in the contacts? So 34 are there. So I guess it is displaying everything because there is, we have not specified only 2 records or 5 records. I have not specified anything here, right?
No, ma'am, 20 is showing.
It is showing only 20. So till Manjunath. Yes, okay. Only 20 it is showing it. That is the basically the default records that the page block table displays it, right?
Yes.
I'm using the standard controller data list also displaying the 20 records. That is the limit which is applied to the data list as well. Now, okay, the question to you, when I'm refreshing this page, I wanted by default, the tab has to be landed onto the data list instead of going into the page block table. So how can I do that?
Select tab attribute.
Where do I need to mention that?
In tab
Tab or tab panel?
Tab and
tab panel.
Tab panel. Selected tab. So what is the name that I need to give there? What is the name that I need to give? So whatever the name of the tab is there, that's the same name we have to give it here, selected tab. So by default, it is landing here. Now, I'm just printing the first name, last name, email, mobile number. In case if you wanted to differentiate, because here I do not understand what is the name and what is the email ID. I am not able to see that. I'm not able to see that. So there is two ways, multiple ways are there. If you wanted to just having the bold value in front of the name, in front of whatever the name is there. So let's say first name. And then I'll add another bold value here, which is a last name. And we'll have an email. Now I'll show the phone number. Let's save. Right? First name, all of them first name, last name, email, phone number. But this is also not looking good. This is also the styling wise, it is not looking good. Okay, instead of writing it like this, what I'll do is, let me create another tab. So what are we doing here? We are printing the record field value, right? Which is a read-only mode. So how can you print the record field value? Which tag do we have to use it? I'm just printing the record field value, the first name, last name. If I want to print the record field value, so what should I need to do? Which tag do I need to use it? Sorry?
Maybe output field.
Yes, output field. Because we are displaying read-only mode, right? Apex colon output field. So we have to use apex colon output field. Instead of just printing the values, what I'm doing is I'm using the tag, which we have already discussed. So value equal to cn dot first name. And the next one, value equal to last name. And after that, I'm going to print the email value equal to email. And then finally, we have a phone number. So value equal to phone number. Perfect. There is another one which is added here. What it is doing, it is displaying the data list. Why it is displaying like this? Okay. Yeah. So it is displaying this way, but I do not want to display like this. If I wanted to display just a dot, okay, I need here account name, and then below that I need an email, below that I need phone number. How can we do that? See, this is the value is there, okay? This is the value it is printing. This is the value it is printing. But what I need is first name, last name, right? First name, last name, email, and then I wanted to print the phone number. Instead of a single line, I just wanted to use this way. How can I do that? Instead of dividing the single row into the multiple lines, what is the tag or what is the command?
Column.
Page
Column.
block section.
Why page block section? How about if I use simply the break? What will happen if I use the break?
Single line break will be.
Is it coming down? I'm dividing the single line into next line, next line. If I wanted to print it in the next line, what should I need to do? I need to use the break. So now again here I need another break. So either you can add a paragraph or another break, you can add it at the end. So this is the first one, first name, then last name, email, mobile number. Right? Now, if I wanted to display a name field here, text field, name, first name, last name, email, phone number, what is the tag that we have to use it?
Output label.
Apex colon, output, label. So what is the value, what are the attributes that are required for the Apex colon output label? What are the attributes? What is the attributes that we have to use it?
Name.
Title or value? Which one?
Value.
Value.
Value equal to.
Name equal to this.
Ma'am, output label is for just for printing, right? Like what does output field? Can you just please tell me again?
Output field is if you wanted to display a record field value in read-only mode. You cannot edit it. If you wanted to display output field in a read-only mode.
Okay.
So what is the output text? We have an output text here. What is the output text?
Like there we can edit the value.
What is the output text? If I use here output text, what will happen?
To display text on VF page.
What happened now? Where the name came?
Right hand side.
Right? Why so? I'm writing the output field inside the output text, but it's giving me the name after the Andy.
It's giving the value from Salesforce to user. I think so.
Salesforce to user. Somebody is talking and I'm not able to hear. Your voice is breaking. Okay, so this is the assignment. What I need is use any Visualforce tag. I don't know which Visualforce tag do you use it. So I need first name. This should be in the bold. This should be in bold. Okay, so this should be in bold. It's not even coming. First name Andy, last name Young, and then email, mobile phone. So whatever this side is there, it has to be bold. This way it has to come, and here the dot, whatever the dot is there. So dot first name, dot first name, last name, email, mobile number. Like this it should show. So that is the assignment, because we have already discussed the output text, output label, everything we have discussed. Okay, so any question on data list? Basically, it is used to display the data in list order. What are the ascending order is there by default order by the Salesforce? It displays the same order. So data list holds the collection of records. It holds the collection of records. Any questions before I move on? Imran, so you are saying that output field is a field name and output text is the output text is the outfield value. Okay, but when I use the output field, you're saying it is a field name, but I'm getting here the field value. When I use the output field, I'm getting the field value, right? I'm getting the field value. So here output field is it displaying the field value. What are the field value is there? It is displaying the field value. Output text, you come explain me tomorrow. I'll give a time. I'm not in a hurry. But why we use the output text, I need. What is the difference between the output text and output label? What is the difference between output text and output label? That is a question. That is the homework for today. Okay, so let's move on. Next one is a list view. Next one is list view. So list view, a Visualforce tag is used to display the main tab for the particular object. main tab for the particular object. So what is this means? We have seen the list views in the Salesforce. We have discussed the list views, right? What are the list views that we have discussed? Whatever you see here, these are list views, right? That is what we have discussed. Now, if you wanted to display the same list view using the Visualforce page, what we have to do? We have to use _list views. If by using this tag _list views, we can display any object list view. We can display any object list views. Attributes, only one attribute is there, which is a type. Type is nothing but which object list view you wanted to display on the Visualforce page. If you wanted to display the account list view, type equal to account. If you want to display the lead list views, then type equal to lead. Type equal to lead. You can display the type equal to lead. Now the list view doesn't care what is the Apex page is sending. There is no link between the list view and the Apex page. Okay, so what is that means? Now, whenever we implement, whenever we write a Visualforce page, this is a Visualforce page. Whenever we write it, what we are doing it's starting with Apex : page, and then we are sending the what is the standard controller that we wanted to implement, right? Standard controller equal to, we are saying the account. Now, what is that means? This complete page handles the account related information, right? This complete page, what are the pages there till the closer? This entirely it handles the complete page. It is going to handle about the standard controller, which is called account. Now, Apex list view, Apex : list view. What it does, basically Apex : list view, it does not look at the page. It does not look at what the page is sending. It doesn't care. Whether you are sending the account, whether you are sending the account to the list view, or whether you are sending the table to the list view, or whether you are sending the lead to the list view, doesn't care. Whatever the object is there, it doesn't care. Whatever the object is there here, it doesn't care. Whatever the type equal to, it only cares what is my object in the type. What is the object in the type? Only it cares about that. So for example, we already implemented a page here, which is calling the contact, which is having the standard controller is contact. Now, what I need is I'm going to implement, let me implement another tab. So this is, let's say that this is a list view. This is a list view. Now, here I'm going to use the Apex : list views, and type equal to, I'll say the object is, let's suppose lead. The object is lead. It's not closing the Apex tab. Apex : tab. Let's say now the list view. What happened here? It is displaying me the exactly how the lead is there. By default, whatever the standard view is there, we can see only that, right? So what are the list views are there in lead? So if I open the leads tab, so we have a all open, recently viewed, today's lead, view custom 1, view custom 2. So only we can see those information here, right? So how many it is displaying? And it is working all the functionalities. It is refreshing it. Okay, let's keep the default tab is a list view. Default tab is list view. Okay. Now we have here option called view. How many records are there in lead? 14 are there. Okay. So if I select a recently viewed, it is showing only the recently viewed. For example, if I create a new one, what will happen if I create a new one? So let's create a new one. List view for VF. Okay, all users can see. Let's save it. It has a name, email, company, state. I don't want to change anything here. Right? Name, email, company, state. Now what will happen here? Does it show or not? In the list view, does it show or not? So it is showing the list view for VF. Whatever the list view is there, it is showing the information. For example, if I apply a filter, if I apply filter, add filter, let's take company equal to Infosys. Click on done. Save. It's showing me only one record. Perfect. The list view is updated. Does it reflect on the Visualforce page? Yes, it is reflected. It is showing only one. So whatever changes are done on the list view for any object, it will be reflected here. Now you can create a new lead. Does this buttons work? Click on a new lead. It will take you to the new lead page. It will take you to the new lead page. Once it is created, let's assume that I'll give. So let's say Rohini completed field. Let's take Infosys, let's say. Now this is another record which is created right now. Now we are redirected to the lead. My page has gone. I cannot see my page. It is gone. So I'll switch back. Right, this is the one, VF_table. Now if I click on all open leads, does it show whatever the new one is created? It is showing the new one. Right? So whatever the updates are happening on the admin side, I can see here. In case if I wanted to change the status of the whatever it is there, Rohini, the status I wanted to change the status. Working, contacted, click on save. Right? Now what is the status of this working, contacted? All the buttons, the default, whatever is being, because this entire page is coming from the Salesforce. This entire page comes from the Salesforce. It also works this one. If you wanted to see the one which are starting with the L alphabet or the one which are starting with S, everything, it's similar to whatever we are able to do in Salesforce, everything we can do it here. So that is the list view. If I wanted to view the list view using the Salesforce, we have to use _list views. Any questions on this?
Swapna, can I specify the defined list view? If I want to see only particular list view, can I specify that?
Right now, we do not have, I guess this is the only attribute type is there. And another attribute is which is ID. Another attribute is which is ID. Now, can I define whatever the one which are there? It has only type and ID. And there is another one which is called as a rendered. So only these three are there. So right now we do not have. We cannot. By default, whatever is there selected by Salesforce, only that will be displayed.
Yes, Swapna.
Okay. Okay, let's move on. Next one is Charter Visualforce Tag. Somebody has sent me an email about the doubt about the charter. Is that Sri Lakshmi?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So Charter Visualforce Tag. We have some tags which are starting with charter. There are few tags starting with charter. So what is this? These are related to only the charter information, only the charter details. We hardly use these tags in real time because very rare scenarios for the client who really wanted to know about the charter. So we have a very less requirements on the charter, but I just wanted to give you the brief about it. So charter tags are only related to charter. So what is that means? Like if you wanted to know the followers, so charter : followers is the one which is going to give you the information. Now, if you wanted to see news feed, what are the news feeds are there? If you wanted to see those information, you can use charter : news feed. And if you wanted to see only the charter details, only the charter details, I do not want the record. I need only the charter information. In that case, you have to use the charter : feedWithFollowers. So when we do the detail section, what will happen? It displays the entire information, right? It displays entire information. How do you display the details? Resume, file, new, Visualforce page. Click on OK. Standard controller, account. Right. What are the commands for the detail? How to write, how to get the detailed information. How to get the Apex detail section. Like if I'm opening this, if I'm opening the account record. Apex
Subject, charter,
detail, and what are the attributes?
subject,
Subject, what I need to give in the subject? What do I need to give in the subject? Sorry? What do I need to give in the subject?
detail,
Contact ID.
account ID,
Account dot ID.
account ID,
And if I wanted to, if I do not want to display the related list, what is the attribute that we have to use?
Related list equal to
Related
false.
list.
related
False.
list,
False.
related list,
False.
Related list, false.
false,
And if I wanted to see the charter information,
Show charter true.
show Auto. True.
Let's save it. Any error? Account. Let's save. Click on preview. What is the problem? I am not getting any information here.
Should pass the ID.
How to pass
Because-
my ID?
Passing ID.
ID equal to 18-digit ID. Right? So why it is not showing here the show charter?
Switch to classic, ma'am. Charter is available in classic.
Charter is
only.
available in
Classic
classic only.
only.
Perfect. Let's click on refresh. Okay. So now here we have a charter information and the details it is displaying it. Now I'm not interested on this detail. I don't want the details information. I just wanted to see only this charter. Whatever this charter is there, only I wanted to see this information from here till this point. I wanted to see related to this ID, related to this record. I wanted to see only these informations. Now, if you wanted to print the charter information for the specific record, then what we have to do? We have to use charter : feed with followers. Charter : feed with followers. We have to use it. And if we want about chart user, whoever is charted here, for example, in this case, the chart user is DEC badge. Okay, if you wanted to know about that person, the person profile, the person details, then about me, charter answers : about me. Now, for example, here I'm just taking the one example. So rest all will be the same. So what I'll do is, I'll just print this, whatever you can see here. I'm just going to print this information. Instead of displaying this detail section, I'm going to just print these details. Okay. Any questions before I move on?
Ma'am, this tag is used only to display only charter, right?
Yes, this is only to display the charter. There is no other thing.
Okay.
We are not going to do anything with this charter. Whichever the tag you see that starts with a charter, we are not going to UI styling or nothing. We are not going to do anything. In real time, we are not going to use this, but I just wanted to show you because there is a question that comes up from one of the members. So I just wanted to show that. So instead of this detail section, what I'll do is I'll comment. Now, charter : feed with followers. Feed with followers, and only one attribute is mandatory, which is entity ID. So entity ID is which object charter information you wanted to see. Which object charter information you wanted to see. So account.id. So I need this specific one. ID equal to this. Now what happened? Only I can see charter details. No details, no related list, nothing. For this particular ID, I'm able to see only the charter information that happened in last few days. What are the last few days are there? Only those information it is applied here. Clear, Sri Lakshmi?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. In homework, we got this one related to the tabs homework. So I, thank you. Ma'am.
Yeah. feedWithFollowers tag is an integrated UI component. What we will do to display the charter feed for the record. So the attribute is entity ID. Only this is required. No other attributes are required. So entity ID of the record for which you wanted to display the feed. You wanted to display whatever the feeds are there. So those information it will display. So example, contact ID. Okay, any questions before I move on? So far, whatever we have discussed, what did we discuss so far?
Apex data table.
Data table.
Data table.
Data list.
Difference between
list.
pageBlockTable and
Data
datatable.
list.
Next,
List view.
List view.
List view. Charter view.
Charter.
Charter view.
Charter Visualforce Tags. feedWithFollowers.
followers. Yes, data table, data list, list view. Anything apart from this?
Difference between datatable and pageBlockTable.
Yes, that is the interview question. So these are the one which we have learned today. Those are all are related. Charter feed with followers is the something related to charter. Now, does Salesforce styling apply to the Apex data table by default?
No, ma'am.
No.
How to display list in order in Visualforce page by using the Visualforce tag?
Apex colon list.
Apex colon
Data list.
List view.
data.
Data list.
Which Visualforce tag do we use to display the images on the Visualforce page?
Apex image.
Apex colon image.
Apex colon images.
Apex colon images.
Apex colon image.
How to implement Apex colon tab in Visualforce page?
Tab panel.
Apex colon tab panel. Tab
Panel
panel.
tab panel.
Within
And
the
inside that.
label.
Okay. So homework, implement 4 tabs: lead information list, account information to be decided, account information using output field, tab 3, page table account display, tab 4, data table account display. So create a 4 tabs. 5 tabs are there, sorry, create a 5 tabs. Lead information, account information to be decided, account information using output field, and tab 3, page table account display, tab 4, data table account display. Now first tab, display the lead data. Whatever the lead data is there, it should come with the action edit, delete, right? So everything should be appearing it. If you click on this edit, it should be able to take you to the edit lead. Second tab, where it has all the information, the 20 records, it should display here, where it has a name, a rating, and the phone number. Third tab, it has to be displayed in the order, but it has to be in the name of the contact or name of the account, and what is the number, account number, phone number, and rating, right? The web URL. And the fourth tab is it should display the table, which is similarly like a Salesforce styling. It should apply Salesforce styling and display this. And fourth tab is display the data table. Display the data table. Now, any questions? So total 5 tabs are there. Lead information, and second one is the data that we are going to display in the order. And the third one is also displaying in the order, but the name and after that phone number, everything should be displayed in the next line. The fourth one is a table, similarly like a page table. Whatever the Salesforce styling is there, everything should be applied there. And data table, fifth one is a data table. And another assignment is how to display this first name, Andy, what are the bold and then Andy. And then what is the difference between the apex colon, output label and output text? Difference between the output label and output text. Any questions?
Ma'am, can you show second slide of homework? First step.
Now here Archana has posted something. Where is it? Data list. Let me switch to the lightning. Okay, so we have table. What do you mean by that, Ashrita? When you click on a developer console, when I click on preview, output shows only 1 second. What does that mean?
If I click the preview, it will get the output, right, ma'am? It shows only 1 second, just like that. It's not stable.
In Chrome, or are you opening in?
I'm using the Chrome.
You are using the Chrome?
Yeah.
Can you ping me your credentials?
Okay.
Okay. So here what we are using is output field, right? So now if I use page block session, what will happen? If I use a page block session, what will happen? What will happen if I use the page block session?
The entire page is divided into sub components.
Okay, but does that display the name of the field and the value?
No.
Let's see. Apex colon
Write it on.
page block. Let's take out this output label. Within that, let's use the Apex page block section. Now we are using the output field. So let's save. So what is happening here? It is coming in the different way. It is divided the blocks and then it is divided the section. Then it is displaying the first name, last name, email, mobile.
Okay.
But if I do not use this, what will happen? The label does it display? If I do not use this, the label gets displayed.
No, no.
No.
So in case if I wanted to display the label, what should we do? We have to place this output field within the page block section.
Okay.
Ashrita, can you give your credentials? Let's see your problem.
Yeah, 1 minute, ma'am. I'll.
Okay, in the meantime, any questions so far, whatever we have discussed? Okay, is that correct? Can you check your credentials? Maybe the username might be wrong. Okay, guys, we are done with the session today. Tomorrow it will be longer, so please be prepared and come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.